Welcome to Cooking Trojan Style, where the chefs of Troy University's dining facilities share their recipes with you. Let's get ready to cook. Here's Chef D.
Today we'll be preparing one of the Southern favorites, red velvet chicken and waffles. You know, everybody has their own rendition of chicken and waffles, but here at Troy University, this is our famous red velvet chicken and waffles with an apple smoked and pecan syrup drizzled with a cream cheese and white chocolate shavings. You ready to get started? Sounds good? First of all, we take fresh chicken, 8-piece cut up chicken. We have it marinated in cold water, salt water. Some call it a brine, I just call it salt water. So we get it nice and soaked. You get a lot of the blood out the chicken, you get the salt in the chicken. So some like to soak it in buttermilk. I don't have time for all that. I feel that buttermilk burns. So this is our chicken, fresh chicken. We have our flour. Flour is very important. It's the secret to our flour. The seasonings are garlic powder, onion powder, flour of course, salt, white pepper, and cornstarch. All right, that's the secret. Cornstarch keeps the crispiness of the chicken. All right, you ready to get started? Let's turn our oil on, let's get it hot so we can fry some chicken and make some waffles. It seems like our oil is ready. So what we're gonna do, we got a small pan here, so we're gonna fry one piece at a time. I like thighs, so I'm gonna fry a thigh first. You take it right out the water, dredge it right in the flour, all sides, make sure it's nicely coated. Make sure your oil is about 330 degrees. Some say 350, but I don't like my chicken to get too dark too soon. So I cook at 330. Make sure it's coated on all sides. You bring it to the oil, shake it off. Skin side down. Looks good to me. While that chicken is frying, we waiting for that chicken to fry, we're gonna start on our red velvet waffles. Red velvet waffles. What's so popular about red velvet waffles, right? You have any typical waffle mix or pancake mix, whichever you desire, whatever you have in your cupboard. Put that in there. Add about an egg or two. Whipped up. You like it nicely flavored, so you add a little sugar. Add a little water. I just add a little bit at a time as needed. Whip it up. Add a little more water. You add a little water as needed. Once you get it to a nice smooth texture, add a little cocoa powder, maybe a teaspoon, not much. The cocoa is very overpowering, so you don't need a little goes a long way. Now, the waffle's not red yet, right? Now we color it. Maybe a teaspoon of red food coloring. There we go. Now, your batter is ready. Let's get this out the way and let's get to making our red velvet waffle. Okay, as you see, we have our waffle iron here. This is a commercial waffle iron. Of course, if you're home, you have a waffle iron, and you can get it from the supermarket or whatever, Walmart. You really don't have to spray it because these are non-stick grates in here. You can put a little oil in your batter if you like. So we take our batter, put it in our waffle iron. That should be enough. Let it run to the sides, make sure it's running. We close it, we turn it. That creates the timer to start. While the waffle's cooking, our fried chicken is cooking, we get our plate ready. Let's check our chicken. See if it's cooking nicely golden brown. Let's turn it around. Make sure it cooks even on both sides. Waffle is cooking. Let's clean up a little bit. Now we have our syrup. Okay, to make our syrup, you take any regular syrup you have in your house, whatever you like. Some like Buttersworth, some like making your own, whatever you have. You cook off you some bacon, you chop it up in little pieces, roughly chopped. I like to use apple smoked bacon. You take you some pecans, you just add you some pecans. So you add you some syrup, you chop up your bacon, add your bacon to that, add your pecans. And that's gonna be your syrup that goes on our chicken and waffles. Okay, we have that ready. And we also, while everything is cooking, we also have a white chocolate and cream cheese spread that we make. What it is we take white chocolate chips, cream cheese, we melt it down slowly in the oven or just room temperature. Once it melts down, we mix it up. You hear that? That means the waffle is done. Turn it around, pop it open. Beautiful. I don't want to burn my hands, so I put me some gloves on. Take my waffle out. Trim off the edges so it make it pretty. Nice presentation. It's just ready for some chicken, right? Get some powdered sugar. Making some powdered sugar on top. Okay, close that up. Now, like I said earlier, we take the white chocolate, cream cheese, we melt it down, and then after that, once it's melted down, you can melt it down in the oven, on top of the stove, just real slow. And then I put it in plastic wrap. I mold it down, and I just stick it in the freezer for later. So once I have chicken and waffles again, it'll be already ready. So I'll leave that on the side for later. Check on our chicken. Chicken is looking beautiful. Takes a while. So we ready to eat. Let's make sure the plate is nice and clean. Someone told me chicken is ready. Okay, let's go get our chicken. Nicely golden fried chicken. Always put a little paper to drain off the oil, okay? So now we're gonna assemble our plate. These pieces are kind of big, so take the thigh, the leg, breast, wing. Isn't that looking scrumptious? So now we drizzle it with this apple smoked pecan syrup. We take our white chocolate cream cheese. We take a grater and we just grate it. Let that melt down on there. But here you have it. Red velvet chicken and waffles with apple smoked bacon and pecan syrup with a white chocolate and cream cheese shavings. Bon appetit.
Here are the ingredients you'll need to make red velvet chicken and waffles. Now let's move on to dessert.
Absolutely. We have sweet potato cheesecake with a cardamom scented graham cracker walnut crust. With fried sweet potatoes garnished with powdered sugar. Are you ready? I am. Today for the ingredients we have cream cheese, pureed sweet potatoes, some eggs, some sugar, vanilla. This is a raw sweet potato. And for the crust, we have walnuts, we have graham cracker and butter and sugar. So to get started, we have my oil getting heated up for my fried sweet potatoes for garnish. I have that heating up on the side. We have softened cream cheese. We're gonna add sugar to the cream cheese. We're gonna add sugar to our pureed sweet potato. Now the sweet potato is cooked ahead of time. You just take raw sweet potato, you peel it, you boil it till it's soft, you drain the water off, and you just puree it up. Okay, that's what that is. All right, we're gonna use that for garnish later. We take the softened cream cheese, we add a little bit of vanilla with the sugar, the vanilla to the sweet potatoes. The reason why we do them separate is because we're gonna add them together later. We're gonna fold them in. So we're gonna whip this together, get it soft. Get that sugar incorporated in there. You can use a machine if you have a machine. But I figure I'm the machine today, right? Everybody don't have a machine. It tastes a little better when you work at it. Add a little egg. Slowly incorporate that in. Whip it all up. So it's nice and creamy, so all the sugar is dissolved. That looks good to me. I don't think a machine could have did any better. I get my exercise in the kitchen. Okay. Now you take half of your cream cheese here, add it to your sweet potato mixture. And whip that up. Okay? See how that look? Beautiful. Pair it together. Now you got your crust. Graham crackers, butter, sugar, walnuts, little cardamom. Mix it all up. Like I said, you could use a machine, but you use your hands, you feel it, the texture you're looking for. You just crumble it up. Be one with your food. Get to know your foods, you know? You're gonna crumble it all up until you incorporate all that butter. It gets to the point where it's gonna be all sticky. Okay, once it's sticking all together, get a pan, grease pan, you put it in the bottom of the pan. You just cover the pan on the bottom. Don't worry about the sides. You just pat it down. Real simple. Real simple, but a nice dish. Now, since it's all patted down, we're gonna add our cream cheese together. We're gonna fold them in. See that? See, the reason why you do it separate, so when you cook it, you have that swirl so you can see the sweet potato against the cheesecake, okay? So now you fold it in. That looks good to me. We just fill our pan. So we make sure we get to the edges. You just tap it, get the air out. See that? Beautiful. From here, it goes in the oven. Water bath, meaning you get another pan, you put water in, you sit it in the water halfway in the oven, 300 degrees for an hour and a half. Then we'll come back and see how our cheesecake looks. What do you think? While the cheesecake is baking, we're gonna get ready for our garnish. So we're gonna take a sweet potato, raw sweet potato that we peeled, we're gonna cut up in strips and we're gonna fry it, okay? We have our oil heating up on the side over here. It's on medium heat. So we're gonna cut the sweet potato in strips. After you cut it on the side, you wanna turn it. Why? So your sweet potato don't walk away from you. Because if you have it rolling, it'll roll away from you. So you cut a little bit off, put the flat side down, now don't go nowhere. So now you cut it in thin slices, very thin slices. Once you get to the edge, you can always roll it to the flat side. So now you see how thin slices we have? Now we're gonna make them into, they call julienne. Julienne strips, meaning thin strips. So we're gonna start from here. Since the cheesecake is gonna be small, we don't want long pieces, so we're gonna go from this end. You don't have to go as fast as I do, so if you take your time, because you don't want to lose a finger. Once you get to the end, just go. You see how my knuckles is? The blade is right there on my knuckles. That's my guide. You see how thin that is? That looks like enough. So we're gonna take these right to the oil and drop them right in. We're gonna fry these till they're golden brown and crispy. It's coming along great. Let them fry. Just so you guys know, the cheesecake is baking, the cheesecake is finished. Once the cheesecake is finished, we put it in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes to cool down, all right? So we can cut it for presentation. That's coming along great. Let that fry up. I'm gonna get my garnish ready. I want some raspberries. Some fresh raspberries. Powdered sugar. Just so you know, the powdered sugar, if you got a shaker, you put a little rice in it. The rice will help the powdered sugar from clumping up, all right? That's a little secret. So, here's the finished product. Sweet potato cheesecake. After it's been cooled down, I have a mold. You can cut it into squares. Like I said, this is your cheesecake. You can cut it triangles, squares, however you want to do it. What I like to do, I like to use rounds. So I'm gonna use rounds today. So on this size plate, I may do 2, I may do 1. Maybe I do 2 today. I'm kind of hungry. Sweet potatoes is finished. Take them off so I can drain them on a paper towel. Okay, I got my fried sweet potatoes sticks for garnish ready. Now, find me a spatula. Let's cut out my sweet potatoes. Cheesecake. Press it down. Get my spatula. Press it back out the mold. Making it nice is not always easy. That broke off. So let's do another one. So sometimes these rings, sometimes the cheese sticks. So what I recommend is to run them under hot water and then stick them in here. Press. Go from the bottom. That worked out a lot better. So, slide it on the plate. Okay, let me... Make sure it's nice and pretty. Wipe your plate clean. Fried sweet potatoes on top. You guys, there you go. Nice and neat presentation, white plate. You see the colors of the sweet potato, the cheesecake. You got the brightness of the raspberries, very elegant. Hit it with powdered sugar. And that's what you have. Sweet potato cheesecake with a cardamom scented walnut graham cracker crust. Thanks for another episode, Cooking Trojan Style with Chef D. See you next time.
Here are the ingredients you'll need to make sweet potato cheesecake. If you need to check out the ingredients list again, you can watch this show and others at youtube.com/Troy Trojan Vision.